One mistake, one penalty, game over. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Kea and today we'll be diving into the darker side of F1, the penalties. From a simple fine to getting kicked out of the championship, one mistake can quite literally change everything.
So what really happens when a driver messes up?
Let's start small. So the FIA doesn't always go straight for the kill. Sometimes they just hand out a warning. Like if you run wide and go off track limits, that's your first freebie. Do it again a few more times, well, you'll be in trouble. Then we've got reprimands. Think of them like strikes. You only get 4 in a season, but the 5th one, that'll cost you a 10-place grid penalty. And yeah, they can hand these out for both driving and off-track drama. Like at the Brazilian GP 2024, Norris and Russell both got reprimands just for messing around on the formation lap. Now, if the FIA wants to hit you where it hurts your wallet, they'll hand out a fine. Fines can come on their own or stacked with some other penalty. Like that Brazilian Grand Prix 2024 moment, Norris and Russell didn't just get reprimands. They also had to pay 5,000 euros each. And it's not only for on-track stuff. Even off-track drama can get
Pricey.
Leclerc got slapped with a 10,000 euro fine at the Mexico Grand Prix 2024 just for swearing at the press conference.
Then I was like, but luckily, sorry, oh no, oh no, I don't want to join Max.
Now, when the FIA really wants to ruin your day, they take away something you cannot get back. Time. Time penalties are the most common punishment in F1. Usually, it's 5 or 10 seconds. So if a driver gets one and then pits, their car has to stay there doing absolutely nothing until the penalty is up. And only then can the mechanics actually get to work. And if they touch the car too early,
Congrats!
Another penalty. Oh, and if a driver doesn't pit after receiving the penalty, then those seconds just get added to their race time at the end. That can totally mess up the results. Like in the 2024 US Grand Prix, Norris got a 5 seconds penalty and he finished 3rd, but the penalty dropped him down to 4th. Next up, the penalties that make the drivers question all their life choices. First, the drive-through. It sounds exactly like what it is. You gotta drive all the way through the pit lane at a speed limit without stopping and then go back out on track. It doesn't sound too bad until you realize that you've lost like 20 plus seconds of your race time. Ouch. Then there's stop and go. You pull into your pit box, stop there for like whole 10 seconds and your mechanics aren't even allowed to touch the car. Just sit there and then go after the 10 seconds are over. That's a total nightmare for strategy. The most recent one is when Lando Norris got it at the 2024 Qatar Grand Prix for not slowing down under the double waved yellow flags. And by the way, the drivers only have 2 laps to serve these penalties once the team is notified. The only exception is when there's a safety car or a virtual safety car. In that case, they have to serve it right after. Moving on to the grid penalties. FIA's favorite way of saying good luck with that. Here's how it works. You get told to drop a certain number of spots on the starting grid for your next race. Usually it's 5 or 10 places, but it can vary. These can happen if you break rules on track, but most of the times it's because the driver has swapped out too many engine parts. F1 limits how many engines and components you can use in a season. So once you go over the limit, you get hit with a grid penalty. A recent example, Hamilton received a 5-place penalty for the 2025 Italian Grand Prix because he did not slow down enough when the double yellow flags were shown during the warm-up laps before the Dutch Grand Prix. If the grid penalties are a slap, disqualification is the knockout punch. Sometimes if things are really serious, a driver or even a whole team can get disqualified. That means that they're completely removed from the results. For example, Russell was the winner of the 2024 Belgian Grand Prix. But later on, his car was found to be 1.5 kgs underweight and he was disqualified. But there's something
even worse.
Suspension. That's when a driver isn't allowed to race in the next Grand Prix. It's super rare, but it has happened.
Okay, but how do the drivers actually end up with a race ban?
That's where the penalty points come into play. Now you can think of it as a driver's report card. Every mistake is equal to a penalty point. If you rack up 12 points in 12 months, the FIA benches you for a race. And this has happened recently. Kevin Magnussen had to sit out of the 2024 Azerbaijan Grand Prix after hitting the 12-point limit. So yeah, the system does bite. But who decides all of this? Well, during a race, the race director can report incidents to the steward, and it's the stewards who investigate and hand out the punishments. Sometimes it happens mid-race, sometimes after, but either way, the teams and the drivers, they find it out pretty quick. And yeah, the team can get penalties too. Unsafe pit releases, cost cap breaches, procedural mess-ups, you name it. And if a team thinks a penalty is unfair, they can appeal it with what's called the right of review. Basically, if they bring new evidence, the FIA will reopen the case. This actually worked out for Alonso at the 2023 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, where he lost out on a podium because of a penalty, appealed it, and actually got it back. That's a rare win against the FIA. And that's every type of penalty you will see in F1. Looks like the FIA really has a punishment for everything. Anyways, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and do turn on post notifications, or I'm calling the stewards on you. Okay, bye.